employee associations. We've invited our employee associations to come from time to time to give us a report on just priorities, progress, challenges. And tonight we have Sarah Reams here. Welcome, Sarah. She's our OSEA president-elect. So take it away.
All right. Good evening, Chair, board members, and district leadership. My name is Sarah Reams. I'm an MSD graduate. I am a parent of an MSD graduate and a senior and a freshman at South. I'm the media technician at Jackson Elementary, and I'm the president of Medford Chapter 15, representing our classified employees of Medford School District. First, I want to begin by acknowledging some things that are going well this year. For the first time in a long time, classified staff are beginning to feel seen and heard. We've been invited to add our classified voices to district committees and decision-making tables, an important step toward inclusion and collaboration. We've also started hearing about weekly site-based classified meetings taking place throughout the district where open communication and real problem solving are happening directly between classified staff and administrators. These meetings have built trust and allowed issues to be addressed before they grow larger. Our labor management meetings between our chapter executive board and HR also have become more productive and solution focused. And I especially want to commend Interim Superintendent Jeannie Grazioli for her intention to focus on strengthening the relationship between classified employees and district leadership. These are the types of actions that build trust and a healthier and more unified district culture. Now, one of our biggest priorities is ensuring that work doesn't hurt. Too many of our classified employees are getting hit, kicked, spit on, bitten, or even thrown to the ground while supporting students. Some are traumatized and living with PTSD and recurring nightmares from these incidences. We know that this problem is not unique to Medford. OSEA chapters across Oregon are reporting similar concerns, but when classified raise these issues, the response we often hear is it's a nationwide problem. While that may be true, it's not an answer, it's a dismissal. Saying it's happening everywhere doesn't make it acceptable anywhere. We need a solution. Something I think it is important to point out today is that when district staff and families talk about their concerns with student and staff safety, most are referring to the dangers of student behavior within the school walls, dangers that cannot be solved by building vestibules or fences. True safety begins with addressing the behavior and support needs happening inside of our classrooms every single day. Our classified staff, our SPED assistants, educational title support staff, campus monitors, and office staff are among the most caring and skilled professionals in education. But when they are unsafe physically or emotionally, it affects not only them, but also the learning environment of every student they serve. We know that padded body armor is not a solution. Many incidences are unpredictable and staff can't wear protective gear all day. Real solutions require clear and consistent consequences for unsafe student behavior. The behaviors schools get are the ones they tolerate. Other real solutions also require collaborative safety planning involving administrators, teachers, classified staff, and the student's family, and training, staffing, and mental health support for both staff and students. When everyone is part of that process, accountability and safety improve for everyone. I want to also address the recent MSD insider communication about potential budget cuts, which classified staff are understandably concerned. We understand that the district is facing real financial challenges. However, whenever there is a budget concern, fingers too often point toward classified and teacher costs such as insurance premiums, retirement contributions, classified employees' unemployment during breaks, and cost of living wage increases. But these are not the problem. These are investments in the people who make our schools run. They are what build and sustain strong relationships between district leadership and its staff. This spring, both classified and certified contracts will be up for negotiation. And we all know that the recent budget message will likely become a familiar phrase at the bargaining table. But these ongoing budget reductions cannot continue to hinder the necessary adjustments in several key areas. Office managers whose workloads have grown since 2008 without wage step increases, special education assistants working on the front line with high-risk students, often with workloads exceeding teacher positions that need fair step adjustments, contributions to classified 403Bs and payout for personal days that are equitable to what licensed staff receive, and ensuring equity for classified staff who fill coaching roles, including the opportunity to attend away games with their teams without having to use personal time to cover their shift. If we truly value safety, support, and student success, we must ensure that those doing this critical work are fairly compensated and supported, not continually asked to do more with less. I urge the board to analyze the current budget and compare it to one from 10 or more years ago, when enrollment was higher, student achievement was stronger, and yet administrative positions were far fewer. Something you might not know about me is that although I've only worked for the district about 6 years, I'm a third generation in my family to serve as classified staff for the Medford School District since 1967, and my son is the fourth. That means my family has witnessed this district's journey for nearly 58 years through its ups and downs, its successes and struggles. And we've seen that this district has been successful in all areas without the recent expansion in administrative positions. And to be clear, I'm not referring to the return of assistant principals at each school site. If you talk to any of the nearly 100 classified employees who have served here between 12 and 39 years, they'll tell you about a time when there were more students, more district support for staff handling student behavior or parent complaints, and the amount of full-time classified positions outnumbered the amount of part-time classified positions. Those were the conditions that built stronger relationships, consistency, and stability, things our district could benefit from again. In closing, I want to thank this board and district leadership for listening. Classified employees are not just support staff. We are the foundation that keep this district running. We are educators, protectors, and advocates who make learning possible every single day. We are the hearts behind every school. Together, we can build a district where every employee is valued and every voice is heard, and most importantly, everyone goes home safe at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Appreciate it. It's not public.
I just wanted to say one thing.
It's different than
That was a lot, and I can't imagine it was easy to do. I am in positions sometimes where I'm advocating for others in labor, actually. And what you did was no small thing. It was a very, very hard thing. And not everyone understands or appreciates that. So without unpacking everything here now, I understand that there is more work that needs to be done. And maybe there's something that we can do in our policies when it comes to student behavior. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask. And I'd maybe start there personally for me as a school board director. But the one thing I want to say to you is thank you for standing in the gap and being an advocate for the folks who are the foundation of a lot of the work that needs to get done and has to get done in education. And that's something that people who step up and lean in and do what you just did, they don't get a lot of thanks for that. So that's really what I wanted to say. I wanted to encourage you. Some of the things that you had to share was probably easy to say and very well received. Some of the stuff is heartbreaking, but it is the very things that create the opportunity that makes the change that needs to be made to support the people that are really supporting our students. Thank you.
Anybody else have a question, Angela?
Just a comment. Also, I hope that your fellow union members are watching and feeling proud and well represented. I so appreciate that you could come here and just talk about the impacts on media centers, but it's very clear to me that you are well aware of impacts on people in so many positions that are the glue holding our schools together. And I'm rooting hard for you guys.
Thank you. It's amazing that we've been seen as the silent majority, making up 60% of the educational workforce across Oregon. And it's recently that we've learned that we are silent no more because we care so much about not only our home away from home, but for the families we serve. And they're our future. And without them being successful, our future is not successful. And so we want to have a hand in that and have a voice in that and be there to help support every part of it.
So I do have a comment, but does anybody else? Eric?
Good to see you, and thank you for coming, and appreciate everything you say, whether it's good, bad, or something else. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do still, our last meeting, we heard a little bit about some of the efforts that the district is taking in terms of just being able to track incidents like you're describing so we can better understand the situation and better address it. Do you feel like, obviously we have a lot of work to do, but do you feel like we're moving in the right direction and that people are paying attention to this, or is it not adequately on the radar?
The more data we can collect that we could take to the Capitol and show, the better chances we have at getting more funding. And really show that, because a lot of the behaviors are not SPED. They are from trauma, and there's no data for that. There's no anything. And so it's hard we're already having a hard time with getting SPED, the formula adjusted since 2011 or something like that. But there's nothing that's looking at these kids that are suffering from so many different traumas, and that's where their behavior is coming from. And we're not getting funding for that. And that's what we need, is to help them. And so it's a very fragile line that we're trying to get crossed and understand, but without the data, it's hard to do.
Jeannie, I don't want to put you on the spot, but we have had conversations about gathering this exact kind of data, and I got some feedback from some community members about hearing some of those numbers in our meeting, and they really appreciate it.
Good.
They said, my goodness, I've been coming to these meetings for years, and this is the first time we're actually seeing some of these numbers. And so my question is it possible to collaborate with them on getting some more and better specific data that might be usable when presenting stuff like this to the legislature?
Yeah, we have a team right now that's putting together how we can get the data as accurate as possible, because not all of these reports were being reported.
Right.
And so we're working on how do we get that, and then how do we create that baseline and then really start tracking it. So that is something that we're working on right now, actually. We can come back to the board and present at another time and let you know how it's going, too.
Anybody else? I want to thank you so much for helping identify the problem and then giving us some ideas on how to fix it, because we can sit up here all day and pretend, but none one of us does what you do, and we can't pretend to know how to fix it. So thank you so much for telling us the good, what we need to work on, and potentially what we can do to help, because without you we would be like, okay, but what do we do now? And thank you for taking that effort to give us something that we can really, Jeannie can now work with, or policy-wise, we can try to find something to help, because otherwise we wouldn't have a clue. So thank you so much. Yeah, we're all ears. I mean, if you have suggestions for problems on how to solve them, please reach out. This isn't like a one-time we just see you. If you have other issues or if we're doing something really good and you don't want us to screw it up, tell us that too, please. So.
I'll make a note of that.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thanks again, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right.